They never listen. To the day that God gave a warning that is going to disgrace them. You can watch all those videos on my platforms. Now listen to this. The devil managed to silence the voice of Reverend Kwesi or something? Somebody remind me the name properly. The devil managed, because they were not in tune properly to the covenant of God over the nation, the devil succeeded silencing their voice. The next person, that is prophet, the recent one, what's the name? And there was a younger prophet that also was in the camp that was speaking for. It's also Kwesi. There's a younger one. Also, the guy was so sharp in the prophetic ministry. Very precise. Because he was also not in tune, as Ghana is concerned, that the covenant will of God to come to pass, they never knew. He was also silenced. Listen very carefully. Then recently, what's the name of this prophet? That said Ken will win the election of recently. Can somebody remind me of his name? Somebody type the name for me. What is the name? The prophet that recently talked about Ken standing for the NDC win their primaries. If somebody will help me with the name. Now this prophet also, he carries a true prophetic grace. But because he was not in line with the timeline of God, as Ghana and where God is bringing Ghana to, trusted his prophetic ministry, and the enemy succeed silencing his voice. Now, the next that is equivocal, that is more equivocal in this nation, is Prophet Owusu Bempah. The comment he made at his service, I don't know whether it was Sunday service or not, at that service is a very dangerous one. It's a very dangerous one. What are the dangers of his comment? Number one, when he said that all prophets should keep quiet, to not speak, that Sunday is about to announce something. That is a very dangerous comment, my brother, that you made. It's a dangerous comment. Because there are watchers like you in this nation, but they don't talk. You are not the only watcher. So immediately you make that comment, you are creating an offense among the watchers. It's a great offense you are creating. And it's so bad for anything like that to happen among the watchers of nations. It's very dangerous. It was that which happened among Lucifer and among the top hierarchies of archangels. I know many of you think when you are accounting or reading the account of the fall of Lucifer, you think that it was a battle between Lucifer and God. Lucifer never fought with God. Go and read your Bible very well. Isaiah chapter 14. It wasn't a fight between Lucifer and God. It was a fight among rankings. It was a fight among the archangels. Because he wanted to assume position, an overlord over the rest of the archangels. And they never agreed for that to happen. The comment that my brother Owusu Bempah made falls within that comment. That is a low belt comment. I know he's a very wise man. I know he is. So to hear that from him, I panicked. Because the prophet also Bempah, I know there are certain utterances he will never make it. That for him to sit, last time I in my live broadcast, I did say something. As I said, I called him yesterday many times, he never picked. But I need to do this today. Because that is what I see in the portals of the realms of the nation. So yesterday I tried calling him many times in order to talk to him about something before I do this broadcast. So if I'm saying it and I'm not calling, it's not because I called him yesterday. You should check his phone. But this is important that I do that because of the nation and because of him. Because it's a voice that needs to be preserved. Because all the important voices, when it comes to the prophetic, are being silenced. And it's simply because they are not extra careful. They are so engulfed in their gift and what God is using them for. And that is the pitfall that Lucifer fell into. And there was battle between him and the rest of the archangels. And he was conquered and thrown down to the earth. So, my brother Owusu Bempah, it is important that you come to this place of understanding when it comes to the nation of Ghana. It is true that God has called you into the mandate of the watchers, but you are just one. There are many. By the grace of God, you have the platform to be heard of all the time. But there are many who know better and knows much who are not talking. And because we are concerned about you, because you are a voice that God is using in this nation, but there is an error at your door that you need to be very careful. Last time in our live broadcast, I saw something and I mentioned it. That the afflictions that are going to come at your door because of association to some people. I personally, I will not sit down that the enemy will smooth you like a wheat. No. Because you are an important tool for this nation and the nations as large. So, before I dive into the second leg of the matter, it is a low belt that my brother Owusu Bempah will say that every prophet will be quiet. They should not speak. That is an error. No, that should not happen in the first place. No. You are not authority over any prophet. The deception, you see, when God is making you someone, I mean, I saw how great God is going to. Prophet Owusu Bempah have not started what God wants to do with him. Yes, Prophet El Bernard. Thank you, Taj. I was talking about the Prophet El Bernard. Recently also was silenced by the subtlety of the wicked one, the devil. That he is also a voice that God is using in this nation. But the enemy succeeded. Look, there is something about when you give prophetic and you are so sure and it's about leadership and it doesn't happen. You can't bounce back. You'll be silent. You'll be quiet. As it happens to all, many of them that have been silenced. And to many people, they will be happy. They say, but that is not what it is when it comes to the kingdom of our Lord. People need to be preserved. People need to be preserved. There are young ones that are coming, that is good. But we, the elders, cannot be shattered because we need to guide the next generation. Of course, God is the one who called them, He can guide them. But definitely there is a need of mentorship. So, Prophet Owusu Bempah, it is important that this understanding need to go to you. Please, it is an error for you to make that statement that let all prophets keep quiet. No. That is an error. That is a very big error. Having said that, let me go to the second leg of the matter. And I mentioned this because it's already in the public domain. And as I said, yesterday I tried his line many times. I know he's a busy man. So he was not able to pick because today I need to do this. And I need to speak to him behind closed doors. I did not get him. And I cannot stop the instruction I received to do. So I have to do this. So my brother, when you hear me talking about you today, I am not attacking you. Not because I'm afraid of anything, not at all. But we are brothers. But we need to preserve the nation and also preserve you. And preserve you. I love you with the love of Christ. Listen, the second leg of the matter is this. as Ghana is concerned, the reason why now many prophets give prophecies and it doesn't come to pass is because the season in which Ghana is in is not only about giving prophecy. There is more. And most of the prophets and apostles that speak are not walking in patience to understand the mind of God about Ghana. The last election that the President John Mahama won, it is not because people did directions. I heard those noises that people are making. I heard one international, will I call it international, in his country, his local country, Hubert Angel, also made that noise during the time of the elections. And I told him that he should stop what he's doing. That when you also want to make a brag over Ghana, over our president, that what he said is what came to pass. Who said? And that time I told him, no, my brother, keep quiet. What I say is nowhere. Because he has no understanding about our nation Ghana, what is going on in Ghana as the spirituality of the nation is concerned. Every single person that is a spiritual person and also that is a prophet, I call on you and I appeal to your righteous mind. If you like, go into your prophetic rooms, go to your altars and ask God, is there a covenant over the nation that we are not looking at? They come out and say, I am lying. There is a covenant over the nation that we are not yet obeyed. And by the ignorance of many of us, the prophets, I'm not a prophet, but those who operate as prophets, that in their ignorance, I who has an assignment in connection to this, I'll not be quiet, for their graces should be shattered. I'll speak out. I know they can't hate me because it's a good thing I'm doing to preserve them and to save them. Are you with me? President John Dramani Mahama winning the elections is not because somebody did a spiritual direction. Someone saying that we went to here, we went and took sand. That is not what made President Mahama won the election. It is about he readily to obey that which had to do with the covenant with the nation. He accepted, he alluded to it, just that he has not obeyed it to the core. If President Mahama could have obeyed the full covenant over the nation, the speed in which God promised to take Ghana, we are not in that speed. We are not in that speed at all. I'm talking about the speed of development. Where God wanted to bring Ghana to, trust me, look, what you are seeing, if there is anything happening that you are seeing, listen to me. We are nowhere where God wanted to take Ghana to. I mean, when Mahama won the election. Between the period of the 4 years, what the Lord wanted to do with the nation, the speed and what he wanted to bring us, it is simply because the president did not obey the instruction concerning that the covenant over the nation in full. And we tried many times to call the president's attention to it. We made many moves to call the president's attention to it. But there were people around the president that made it impossible. Not because God did not open the door. And that covenant is still lingering over Ghana. Understand this. As we sit, and I call on almost all the prophets in Ghana and all the spiritualists and all the traditionalists, go and check. At the seat of Ghana is concerned, it's empty. Nobody is sitting. President Mahama is not sitting on the seat of government. Physically, he's there. Spiritually, he's not there. It is not a boast word I'm using. That is the spiritual truth. Let every prophet go and check. Let every traditional priest go and check. Let every spiritualist go and check. And if he's not sitting on it, it is not just an information. It is serious matter. It's a serious matter. When the stool of power